live.
Live.
All right. What is up? We just wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about the announcement of the Disneyland race dates.
Yeah, very exciting. We knew it was going to happen soon. I actually thought they were going to make some big announcement during marathon weekend, is what I was thinking. They'll probably still make a to-do about it, I think, but they actually published the calendar and the dates, probably because they're going to hand out those cards at the expo.
That's what I thought.
That makes sense.
I bet the cards are sitting out now, and vendors could already see them. So they were like, "Oh, we better just announce it before it becomes."
They had a whole blog post kind of talking about it. So very exciting. It's going to be an interesting year next year. People figuring out how they want to attack the race calendar.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of people who are going to probably do the dopey, and then I guess we should talk about the announcement. So first off, marathon weekend is the weekend of the 3rd through the 7th, so it's right after New Year's next year, and then the weekend after, the weekend of the 11th, is the Disneyland Half marathon weekend, which is also an announcement. We weren't sure what weekend was going to come back. I mean, I think most of us guessed it would have been the Disneyland Half.
Yeah, but we didn't know when. I do know that they have done this in the past where a race weekend has immediately followed another one on the coast to coast. I believe Tinkerbell and Princess used to be like that.
No. I think Star Wars and Tinkerbell were pretty close, but this weekend used to be the Disneyland Star Wars the week after marathon.
Okay.
So it still took a spot of where one of the race weekends was, which was kind of what we thought was it would fit back into one of those. I thought it would have either been the late spring one or the fall one.
Yeah.
The fall one was what I was hoping for.
The fall one honestly would make more sense as far as spacing things out, but you had a really good point as to why you think they're doing it this weekend.
Yeah, so I think the big thing is there's obviously a lot of hype for the Disneyland races coming back. Anytime you see any post from RunDisney, everyone comments, when are Disneyland races coming back? When are they coming back? So I think probably one of the big things there is they knew there was a lot of hype over it. So they probably wanted to try to kind of sway people to not go by making it the weekend right after marathon weekend, which also has been extremely popular in the last couple of years.
Right.
And obviously we saw all of that stuff with how registration went last year and all the craziness of people not getting into dopey. So now I think a lot of people are going to really have to kind of choose between them. And I think that's what they were kind of going for, was spreading it out.
For example, it would be extremely difficult to do marathon weekend, the Castaway Challenge, and Disneyland, which, some of the hardcore RunDisney people who do every single race, you literally couldn't if it's a 4-day cruise that gets back on Friday, because that's when the 5K of Disneyland will probably be, unless they do it at night. And gosh, can you imagine getting off a cruise, getting on a plane, flying to California, and then doing a 5K?
That would be pretty cool. Probably not super feasible.
No.
If you are watching, you would just comment, let us know that you can hear us and everything. We're not using our normal streaming setup. We're just using YouTube's basic one. So I would appreciate it if you would let us know, if you're in the chat, if you can hear us, if this is working. We were just kind of trying to do a quick chat in between. Oh, thank you. Perfect.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Wendy.
Yes.
Hey, Christy.
Oh, hi, Christy.
So we have a tentative idea of how we might tackle it. I don't know. Did you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it. It is very tentative right now, but
you're out.
Yeah, the plan right now is to focus on Disneyland, get in for the Disneyland races. And then marathon weekend, we will probably have to scale back and not run dopey.
Yeah, which I was honestly already thinking probably I wouldn't do. So this just gives me more of a reason to. But as far as time off of work and things like that.
That's the big one for me. Is
because if we just do one race, you won't have to take
time
off work, and then we could potentially do something the next weekend. And obviously we wouldn't try to do Castaway. But yeah, so probably either doing the marathon or maybe Goofy for next year. We could be the 900 people who are
Who do
goofiers.
Goofy, yeah. Yeah, so scaling back marathon weekend. Like I said, this is all kind of our tentative plans for a year out
we
right
literally
now.
haven't talked about it in person. We talked about this over text while we were both working. So
Yep.
this is us talking about it. But it's feasible. I think that's the most feasible thing for us. So as it gets closer, we'll start to work on that. The other thing about it is since this is next year, January, registration is in wait, is registration this February? Yeah,
registration is February for Disneyland. I think it's like April for Walt Disney World.
Okay, that's what just tricked me up, because I was just like, wait a second, when is, because obviously marathon weekend is first. Yeah, okay. So I was right. It is in February. So it's February 14th, I believe. It's Valentine's Day.
Bright side is we'll at least know whether or not we're running Disneyland for sure before you could make a decision about Walt Disney World.
Which that for us is the more complicated trip. So that would be the one we would want to lock down first. And I know my sister and I were already talking about it. And we know we have all of our West Coast friends who are already said they're in. So, there's fun things about that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of hype around it already. We are excited. I've never gotten to run a Disneyland RunDisney race. You got to do two races? Oh, no, just a half?
Just one. I was very jealous when I was there. I think that was before I had done some princess challenges at that point. But I remember being very jealous of the challenge runners. For one, the medal was, I think, Dumbo themed and super cute. But also the 5K and the 10K courses at Disneyland, you feel like you get more park time. It's probably about the same as you get in the half, but there's a lot of road time at the half. Yeah. Whereas I think the 5K is almost completely in the park.
The 5 and the 10 are like full park.
Yeah, so I was jealous of that when I realized that. But that was still kind of early in my RunDisney career. And also it was like so long ago, I don't think I would have paid and been able to be in California for that many days. But I also got to do that one with my dad, which was super fun and one of my favorite memories in the whole world.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, at one point you were, there he is. Oh yeah, no, we definitely want to get over and train hills. They're literal mountains. They're hills as Amy describes them. But yeah, no, we definitely get the cooler weather. Sorry, I'm like, there's a tripod blocking
in front
the comments.
Of where the comments are. I can move that a little bit for you. Is that better?
Yes,
that
thank you. But yeah, that's the exciting news. And they did say in the blog post that kind of accompanied the announcement that they are bringing back the Coast to Coast challenge with this. So all that is if you run, I believe it's calendar year, if you run 2 races on 2 different coasts in a calendar year, you get...
It has to be a half, I thought. At least a half or greater.
We can check that. I would imagine that they might change that to a 10 mile or greater since Springtime Surprise.
I could see that, a 10 mile or greater. It's going to be, in the past it was a half or greater because it was all half.
And I'll see if it says it in that blog post.
But it definitely was a half or greater in the past.
Yeah, that would make sense. But let's see.
Yeah, if you guys are going to try and run this Disneyland half marathon weekend, let us know in the comments. We think we're expecting this will be a pretty standard race weekend with a 5, 10, and a half. I think that would just follow suit for how they tend to like to plan it.
That's usually what Disneyland does.
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, this will almost be like a brand new weekend at this point.
Yeah.
Be a lot of people's firsts and a lot of people excited to come back.
It's been enough years that we made it to 1K. We still haven't packed, but we've made it. If you saw that post. But it's been so many years since they've done the races, and there's been so many changes both in the parks and I'm sure in the surrounding area. The course has to be like a brand new course, so it'd be interesting to see. It's probably not wise, but we are going to do it.
Yes.
We've done other dumb things. So.
Marathon weekend is still a great weekend, which is why I think they're kind of pitted them against each other.
Yeah, it will spread people out, I think. I think a lot of West Coast people probably forego marathon weekend and vice versa.
Feel bad for people who are like perfect in marathon weekend though. Let's see. It would be interesting to consider. I've only done RunDisney in Florida, so it would be looking to hear options on hotel options for Disneyland events.
We're definitely not California experts. I will say when we went for our honeymoon, we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. Obviously, one of Disney's hotels. We're going to be staying at the Grand Californian over the summer, so we'll get to experience that. Now, when I raced, I stayed off-site at, I believe, a Fairfield, which is walking distance to both the parks and where the race starts, and the Disneyland Hotel, which is where the pack and pickup was. So when we were there, we didn't need a car. We literally didn't need to use any transportation other than our legs. And that was great. There's a lot of hotels like that along the road by by Disneyland. So I believe it is, I believe, is it Disney Tourist Blog?
I don't know.
He's the photographer who does like great photography. I used him as I used him kind of to reference and look at hotels because he had stayed at a lot. But as Christy's in the comments here, she might have good information on hotels as well, seeing as she is a Disney travel agent.
Yeah, but John says, "Oh, that's great to hear about hotels." Yeah, there are lots of walking distance hotels,
and Disney's website lists good neighbor hotels for Disneyland because they know that they don't have enough hotels for everyone who wants to be there. And the one I stayed at, I got from the website. I believe what I did is I just picked a few, looked at prices, and then looked at reviews because some of them are better reviewed than others. Looked for, people's opinions on them, and that's how I picked. But walking distance was my stipulation.
Yeah, but lots of good options there, and people have always said really great things about the Disneyland RunDisney events because of just how close everything is.
Yeah, it's really compact. You don't have, a lot of the negatives about Walt Disney World with parking and buses and shuttles,
traveling and all of that.
Walking a huge distance to get to the start line, things like that you don't have in Disneyland. The start line was literally like, I believe, like in downtown Disney. They had it set up. So it is really nice.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you like literally go back into the expo for like challenge medals and coast to coast? I don't know if it was like that for you. I heard in the past it was like you just walked right back into the expo after the race.
I don't think so. This is obviously, we don't have film of this because this was before I met you. I don't remember.
Not before. We were dating.
We were dating. Okay. I don't remember. But we obviously don't have video evidence of what it was like. But I don't think so. Well, but that's not to say that never happened. But I believe we were outside because I remember getting my medal and I remember being with my dad and I remember sitting on the curb because it was really hot and I had to sit down for a few. I remember that.
Yeah, I think that about covers that. Otherwise, we're just
very excited about
for anyone who is watching our Instagram, we did hit 1,000 subscribers, so that was all good and exciting.
Yep. So now we gotta finish packing.
Yeah. So and now we can give all our cool buttons away. You want to grab one of those?
Is that what we were waiting for?
No, I would have given them out either way, but now I have an excuse. We do have buttons this weekend. If you want a Mouse Gen button, come and find us.
Yep, this is our dog.
Yes, this is our dog. Walt. Oh, he's right here. He was waiting for the chance. Come here. There we go. Oh, he's a little bit short here.
Be taller.
But yeah, so if you're going to be there for Marathon Weekend, come and find us. We'll give you a button. We'll be at the expo tomorrow. We're going to do all the virtual queue and all of that stuff. And then we'll be hanging out at Fort Wilderness, I think, most of the day.
Yep.
But
yeah, I have no other plans. I'm bringing a lot of books and my computer.
yes, the hammock is my plan.
Yes.
Hammock.
Oh, I forgot to fold it up.
Well, we have two, but
yeah,
we just have to pack them both.
Yeah.
We have not packed well, you're a little farther than I am, but I haven't packed at all.
Yeah.
But I've also worked the last 6 days in a row.
Yeah.
Holidays and trying to save my days off for these days, all that fun stuff. But I think that's going to close us out.
Oh.
Oh.
We had no idea who you were. Hi, Wake.
Yes, please tell Wake who said hi. Hi,
Thanks,
Andrew.
Wendy. I'm still not positive I'm going to finish the full
I think she can do
the
it.
allotted time, but it'll be fun. Oh, thanks, Dad.
Yep, but I think that's going to do it. We just wanted to pop on real quick, talk about these Disneyland dates, because it's definitely kind of a crazy weekend for them to have picked. Like I said, I was really hoping for that fall time where we really don't have a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
But this is what we got. So it leads to some interesting decisions for sure.
Yeah. But new things are fun. New
Yes.
things are exciting,
Yeah, new RunDisney things too.
Yeah.
But all right, that is going to do it. We really do have to go and pack a lot. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you're going to be there this weekend, come and say hi. Otherwise, have a fantastic race and a great weekend. And we will talk to you guys after Marathon Weekend. Bye, guys.